Now, I've had a lot of fun researching the ins and outs of modern dating culture, but there's only so much you can look at with present day. That said, history is filled with a ton of hilarious dating customs. Some of the best ones are found in ancient Sparta. So let's say that you would like to have the love life of a Spartan soldier, or a Spartan lady. Well, let me give you a brief overview of Spartan dating protocol, so should you choose, you can take the Spartan approach to romance. So a little bit of background on the way that a Spartan soldier would grow up. Until the age of 7, Spartan men and women played together. They would train with sports, it was all quite equal, and they all did so in the nude. From age 7 to 21, Spartan boys would go to train in the agoge. The agoge was essentially a compulsory military training school. During this time, Spartan boys would also live in a syssition, which was essentially military barracks. From the age of 21 to 30, Spartan soldiers would transition from the agoge to formal military barracks. And then at age 30, Spartan soldiers, should they have actually survived their military training, would be given a parcel of land. This land was known as a kleros. Now, we should emphasize the fact that both men and women went through very rigorous physical training, and as you can probably imagine, Spartan boys spent a lot of time in military barracks and didn't really have a whole lot of time to hang out with ladies. But that didn't stop the romance, now did it? While Spartan soldiers were not allowed to live at home until age 30, it was okay for them to marry around age 20 or after. However, the manner in which they married and the manner in which they courted their lady friends was amazing! Basically, before they were allowed to move home, Spartan soldiers were not allowed to be seen in public with their wives/girlfriends. So say you're a Spartan soldier and you meet the perfect Spartan lady and you guys want to get married. Well, apparently, the marriage ritual went down like this. Step 1, girl shaves her head. Now you may think this is totally unsexy, but then remember that scene from V for Vendetta, and Natalie Portman totally shows that you can pull this off. Step 2, girl dons men's clothing. Sexy, sexy, sexy. Step 3, girl waits alone in the dark. Step 4, boy sneaks out after curfew in the dead of night. Step 5, couple gets it on. Now you may be thinking, this is quite the interesting marriage ritual, right? Because there's no dowry, it's essentially like a elopement. And yeah, that's kind of what it was. But very secretive elopement. It was nonetheless totally acceptable, but you weren't supposed to get caught. Now here's what's additionally awesome. Even after a couple was married, throughout their 20s, they still had to continue to meet only at night and in secret. The conditions were as follows for a meeting between a married couple in Sparta. 1, they could only meet at night. 2, they could only meet in secret. And 3, they could only meet on nights when there was no moon. Now those are some pretty tight conditions. Why was that the case? Well, one theory is that the Spartans thought that the less you had sex, the more likely you were to produce strong Spartan soldiers, or strong Spartan women who would produce strong Spartan soldiers. So there's that. But in ancient Sparta, there was also a big emphasis on being able to develop strong ninja skills. So it only made sense that even in the world of romance, it was expected that couples would be able to develop sharp, cunning skills and be able to sneak around. So yeah, Spartans were ninja couples. How awesome is that? It's also argued sometimes that another benefit to this sort of arrangement was that a couple would really only get together if they really liked each other, because, I mean, this is a lot of effort, right? So you know that when Spartans got together, they really loved each other. There's a lot more equity in this kind of relationship than there was in other Greek city-states at the time, and honestly, in other cultures throughout history and even modern times. Sparta. Who knew? Now tell me that romance in the ancient Spartan world was not a fascinating thing. Makes us look kind of boring, doesn't it? But what do you think? Is Spartan romance cool, or is it totally weird? I mean, hey, if you like it, and I mean, I like some aspects of it, like the ninja dating part, maybe we could change our modern culture a little bit, bring back some of that ancient Spartan spark. Could be fun!